thank you for the opportunity. I have 2 buy-to-let, which are just done for you by Aaron. So I've not really been involved in with my local agent and other things. So now I've started viewing house through the agent and other. They've been sending me some deal. I don't know how to negotiate to get some discount. So I would like help with that. And then I'm thinking of where I live presently, making it 2 flat, or if I get another property, how do I structure it for renovation or improvement on it? So those are the things, because it's not something I've done before. That's where I am.
So I'm understanding the first question more. When you say the second question, structuring, do you mean structuring your company, or do you mean structuring getting a project manager, or just structuring the work?
The work.
We're talking about structuring the work and the project management.
Yeah.
Just clarifying that. Does anyone, most of us have made offers to agents or off market. You do need to have, Peter, it was contribute.
Thank you, Clive. So, Buky, firstly, I would say you don't need to worry too much about it. Just because you've not done it, it doesn't mean you're not good at it. Because we all negotiate in life every day in other aspects. So it's no different. I would say the first thing to consider is actually knowing your numbers. And what I mean by that, it's that property you want to offer on, you want to know what that property roughly is actually worth. Okay? So you need to learn how to research to find out what's the value of that property. Look what's sold around, what's the square meterage, and so on. Aaron has loads of materials on how to value a property. Because otherwise, you don't know what you're negotiating towards. If property is worth 100,000 and it's put for sale for 150, and you negotiate it for 140, you would think, oh, I've got 10,000 discount. You've actually overpaid. So it's important to know what's the actual value of that house before you start the negotiation. That's the first thing I would say. And then it's, I would say, the next thing really is these agents, go and build some relationship with them. Okay, super important. Literally all our deals that we've done in the last 12 months have been through agents that we already have some relationship with. It's not someone that we've met for the first time. Take time, build a relationship, and decide, have a clear criteria on what is you want to get. Are you happy to pay market value but you don't want to overpay? Or you're aiming for 10% discount or 20% discount? And whatever it is, just be clear and tell the agent. Just be open with them. That's my simple advice.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know that I had great hesitation, a fear, to be honest, of making cheeky offers. But having done a few now, I'm actually quite comfortable with it because it's a genuine offer. It's an opportunity. I had one cheeky offer accepted just there and then. I thought, shit, maybe I offered too much. But if you are, Aaron teaches us what to say certain things, and okay, you can't learn it parrot fashion, but if you're comfortable saying, because I've got the numbers, I've done the numbers, that's an offer, find your way that you're comfortable of making the offer, make your decision of the number, and make the offer. You get used to it. I don't even think I've had to grow a thicker skin, to be honest. I really didn't find it difficult once I'd done it. Has anybody else got any contribution on negotiating skills? I saw Nick's hand go up, Georgina's, Raj's and Nols's, and I think even Rhett as well. So we'll go in that order that I just named those people.
Thank you. I think perhaps the discomfort with making a cheeky offer is that you feel that you're winning and they're losing. But actually one of the important things about sort of negotiation is to find out what it is the other person truly needs as against wants, so that you, in making your offer, you can make it feel like a win-win to both of you.
Okay, thank you. Georgina?
Yeah, I think something that helps me is just remembering, like, it's just business, and there are numbers that work for you, and if it works for the owner, then great, but if not, it's just business. Like, it's nothing personal. People take houses very personally, particularly because a lot of the sellers, that is their house, so it's an emotional decision for them. But we're business people, we're investors, it's not an emotional decision for us, so that helps me to have a thicker skin. I'm a huge fan of the test close, particularly if I'm going in with a very lowball offer. And so the test close is not, I don't give you an offer that you can find offensive. We have a conversation where I test a number to see a reaction. So it's just a slightly rephrased game which changes the whole psychology of the conversation, and it in my experience prevents people getting offended. So, you know, it might be something along the lines of, well, for me at the moment, this is sort of the number I'd be looking for because I've got of these situations, but I don't think that's something you'll be interested in. And they'll either say, no, I'm not interested, it's way too low, or they'll be like, oh, well, maybe we could come close to that, and then you've got engagement. So even when you're placing an offer that's maybe 30-40% below market value, you're not actually placing it, you're testing a close. And I just found that that's really helped us to get a lot lower in a way that's not offensive and it's not confrontational. So I'm not going with a low offer, I'm testing a number with the estate agents or with the owner, and they'll soon give you feedback of whether you're there or thereabouts, and then you can go from there. And I find that really helps. But always knowing when you're having that conversation, like what the number is that you can go to and what you want really helps, because then you can react live in the conversation. So you can test a lowball offer with a test close, and depending on the reaction, you have the ability in that conversation to be flexible with either going back to them or being like, oh, well, I'm afraid that's all we can go to right now, but if something changes in the future, or if you want me to call back in a few weeks to see how you're getting on with the sale, so you always leave it open as well. It's never you give an offer and there's a yes or no. It's always hey, we're just having a conversation and let's keep the conversation going.
Thank you.
Thanks, Georgina. I'm just going to put this on charge, so give me 10 seconds.
Who else is going to jump in? Because I will jump in.
Yeah, Raj is next, yeah. And then I have spotted your hand there.
Get power back. Three things for me. So first of all, I think Peter's point is exactly right. You need to know your numbers. You need to be able to understand what is that property worth. And when I've been doing this, there's a whole bunch of stuff you do to get your comps. I've gone to a broker as well, and I've recently done this on a portfolio. And I did my analysis of the portfolio, came up with prices, but then I got the broker to get me an AVM, which is an automated valuation methodology. So it's an AI tool that actually spots out desktop prediction on what that price is going to be. That gave me confidence that the value that I put on it was pretty much there or thereabouts. So that's another way of helping you get to the first point, which is what is this property worth? The next thing is what is it worth to you? That's a very different thing. So you need to think about that, and I think Georgina just talked about some of the trade-offs there. And really for me, I fall afoul of thinking that's the property that I need to buy, and then when it doesn't work, because you're emotionally invested in it, you feel a bit gutted about it. So I treat it like a transaction. I'd have 10 properties, make 10 cheeky offers. You don't care if any of them win. You don't care which one wins, but as long as one wins, you're happy. Thank you very much, and move on. But don't just focus on one property. Find a number of properties, put a number of offers in, and then wait for one to land.
Your ability to negotiate is directly related to your ability to walk away.
Yeah.
You have to be in a position. I'm very lucky because Ellie's good at this. Very
You're not
much.
having food tonight, Rob?
Very much so, yeah, I'm in my place. You've got it. I see lots of people, I know over the last 2 or 3 years, seen lots of people who are so desperate to make the numbers work. They're looking at the numbers and they're going, what if we did this, if we do that, if we do this? I remember the conversation the young lady had with Aaron, and Aaron kept saying, walk away, walk away. Yes, but what if? No, walk away, the numbers don't work. And you've got to have that strength of character to delay that gratification.
Find another.
Find another, because there's so many there.
The best deal could be the deal you don't do.
Yeah.
Aussie,
Can I say one more
and then
thing?
red.
So I was just going to add one more thing.
Yeah.
It can always go up. So cheeky offers are great, you know, as long as you position it right, as you said, but you can always go up, you can't go down.
What do you know about that?
Your initial offer might be 100 on 120 property. Don't go in at 115 because you've got nowhere to go. You can't go back down.
Oh.
So offer you 80, 90, whatever it is, you can always move up. And you need to get to the vendor rather than the agent.
Yeah.
I guess how to master negotiating skills, you've got to practice. So start with smaller things. If you're not comfortable at doing these bigger deals right now, from today just be aware, what can I get a negotiation with today? What can I get a negotiation? Can I get 20% discount on my fruit and veg? Just try it, just keep doing it every day. And then within a month, if you're ready to make an offer, you understand how to value a property, then try it with that. So that's my...
Good, thank you, Red. I'm just going in the order I chose before, so I'll come to you, Chris, in a moment. Red, please.
Yeah, Buky, I just thought it's a property filter is actually, as I found out, a really good way of negotiating. Because if you have all of the data about the comparables in terms of how much similar properties are going for, how much people have paid for similar properties on the street, you both have the information, but you can also present that information to an agent or the vendor directly because it has the full addresses of the properties. So there's that, but also you can manipulate the data to only show the comparables that are helpful. So, I call it doing a government trick where you just ignore the things that are inconvenient and you present the convenience. So,
Politician. Ellie, then Chris.
Yeah. Bear in mind, time can be a factor. You may get turned down, but follow up. We offered on a property before Christmas, which was a very cheeky offer. And I forget who was the pundit who said, if you're not uncomfortable with the offer you're making, it's too high. Be embarrassed by the offer you're making, and then you're probably in the right ballpark. And we were turned down. And because like Raj and a couple of the others are saying, keep in contact, get this relationship going with the agents. I was in talking to the agent about a couple of other properties I was seeing. I said, has there been any movement on that? I see it's still on the market. Oh no, he's not sold it yet. I said, well, when you're having the difficult conversation, because being from an estate agent background as well, I know that at some point an estate agent has got to turn around to a vendor and say, look, we've not got any offers yet, you've been on the market for 3 months, we're going, in effect the estate agent is saying, we got the offer price wrong, we told you we could sell it for 130, we can't, we haven't been able to. You need to look at it being dropped in price. I said, when you're having that conversation with them, bear us in mind. And within 2 weeks, she rang us to say, he's had a thought about it and he's decided to accept your offer. So you never know. Time is always on your side at that stage. So keep following up with your agents.
I think the last one on this will be Chris. And Cunley then, thank you.
You're talking about negotiation skills. I'm guessing you just it's the process of the negotiation, not necessarily on properties. So you could
On property.
right. So you can you've got so many different things that you need to negotiate and think about when you're doing property. How about just working on the core of negotiating? And you could do like Clive did, and you could just walk into your local newsagents and see if you can get your Mars bar for free. If you can get that Mars bar for free, then you can do anything. Good Clive.
I'll remember that, thank you.
Thank you. Good one.
Thank you. All of the above. Fantastic advice. I just want to make an observation. To just dig in a little bit under the skin. Now, your questions were how to master my negotiation skill, structural and renovation improvement on any property. And what I would just like to do is just encourage you to actually go out there and do. And you don't have to take all of the advice, you don't have to take all of the advice at once, but do it. Actually go out and do it. Do one little thing to make sure you do it. Because you do not have to master to negotiate and to get better. Just do anything. You do not have to be a master. And there's only, maybe in this whole room, maybe one or two of us actually had a job doing it. So none of us are masters, or maybe one or two of us are masters, right? And you do not have to structure any property. You just have to structure the property that you're looking at, at the moment. So be in the moment. And don't use any of this as an excuse not to do anything. So please do. Very encouraging.
Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 3 minutes past 1, and we're only about 10 or 15 minutes behind, if that. So we've got a loose hour at the end. So we'll stick to starting again at 2 o'clock. So we've just lost 3 minutes, if we can, at 2 o'clock. So let's break for lunch. And can I have the sheets for dinner?